I'm going to present with you the story, the journey of Madhubanti Mukherjee, one of my students of Mastering Watercolor Realism. She was already into watercolors, and then also she felt like joining this course. So I want to ask her why she joined this course, what value she got, so that you can get some value out of this video. Okay, so without spending more time, let's meet Madhubanti. Madhubanti, thanks for joining this case study interview, and introduce yourself and let our viewers know who you are and why you joined Mastering Watercolor Realism.
Thank you, ma'am. So I am Madhubanti, and I now call myself a professional artist. Apart from being an artist, I also have a parallel profession in IT. So if I have to introduce myself, I now first introduce myself as a professional artist, and probably before doing Mastering Watercolor Realism, my first introduction would be that I am an IT professional and I am also an artist. So that is where Mastering Watercolor Realism has made a difference in me, and it has actually helped me reshape my identity a little bit.
This is really so good of you to share that now you call yourself artist first, and earlier you used to call software engineer first. So, what exactly made that difference? Like, what part of Mastering Watercolor Realism made a difference? And what was your goal for joining this course? Like, you never knew what will happen. So, what was your expectation from this course?
So, ma'am, as you know, like I love to learn, and I have learned watercolors and other art techniques from many places. But I think before I joined Mastering Watercolor Realism, I used to take this as something that I'm doing only for my pleasure. So work is very stressful. And at the end of the day, when I used to come back home or when I used to get done with all the work, there would be a vacuum in my day-to-day schedule, which I wanted to fill up with something that is fulfilling. And that was all that art meant to me at that time. I was doing it for my relaxation and fulfillment, so to say. But when I came across your course, I mean, I saw people painting and your live videos where you were encouraging artists to become professional. That is when I thought that why not to give it a try? And what is actually stopping me from becoming professional? Now, when I say professional, at that time, I don't know if you remember, ma'am, I had once asked you what does professional really being professional really mean?
Yeah,
Because until that time, for me, being a professional in anything only meant a specific category of work. It just meant to me that, you know, being a professional artist or a professional something else means that he has very high level of skills in that particular trait. But I never associated the earning part of it with the artwork. But when I joined Mastering Watercolor Realism and I listened to your talks, I realized that yes, this is an essential part of pursuing anything as a profession. You know, learning earn through art is a vital part of becoming an artist as well, because an artist is not just what he puts in the paper, it's also what he brings to table for others. It's
right,
for others. So
right.
that's where I wanted to join Mastering Watercolor Realism and turn my hobby into a true profession. I'm still in the process of, profession is a never-ending field. So I'm ramping up there. But yeah, that is where, Mastering Watercolor Realism was my driving factor, I think.
I'm so glad that you came to join Mastering Watercolor Realism. It was such a fulfilling journey. So, Madhuvanti, uh, tell me one thing. Like, you went through a lot of difficult situation during this course,
Yes.
is
Yes, ma'am.
and your journey was very inspiring. Would you like to share a little bit about how you managed with this course and your difficult situation together, and then also you maintained it, and then also you got such a good result? Would you like to share? Because I want everyone to understand how working as a professional means.
So again, that was a dynamic mind shift that I had and with you. So when I thought of becoming a professional, first I thought, okay, very good skills. Then I thought, okay, it just doesn't suffice to have very good skills. We need to be capable of earning through it. And when I say earning, we mean to say that it is something that others really like to pay for,
Mhm.
that grade of thing. Then came the next phase when I was starting to do the project, and I actually had a broken right hand thumb. So, and really didn't know uh, whether I would be able to paint or not. And I remember you said, I don't care. You you put on something, or you said you paint with your left hand, but you get started.
Hmm.
So had it not been for you, I would not probably have started the painting at all. Maybe not even till now. So yeah, being a professional in any field, it means that really, putting in our whole more than 100% into it. And when you say, I know, some people find it really tough when you say that, okay, I don't care if you have fever, or you can take a crocin, or if you have something you can do, you can wrap yourself in a blanket, but you need to do the work, because if you have to take it seriously, you have to really put in your best into it. So when that came to me, and you told me that
Really
initially I
happened to
found it,
you.
yeah, ma'am. So, but yeah, I realized that how important it is to keep going despite the difficulties that come. So I started painting. Initial couple of layers was done with my left hand,
Left hand.
and my left hand became a little more, capable now after that incident. So, and then I went through all the endometriotic pain. So with all that,
I will pause you for a second. And it was not a simple pain. It was like a situation where she had to be hospitalized, I think, isn't it? For some time? Or even,
yeah, ma'am. It
and it
was
was
like,
severe. It was
yes, ma'am, very severe.
severe. She could not sit. She could not do anything. She could not sleep in the night. She, even after taking several pills, she was facing the pain. And then also, what you did.
Was literally not in the position to stand at nights, or stand up when it would pain. So I would not be able to paint. And the pain would be there at, for at least 8 to 9 hours a day. So it's like somebody kicking for 8 to 9 hours a day, and after that, the kicking has stopped, but you still have that after effect of that pain. But the painting was so, I mean, initially it was difficult for me to, get up and start painting. But later on, I got so hooked onto it that in the hours of pain, I used to constantly tell myself that no, after the 8 to 10 hours, I will have a couple of hours when I could get up and paint. And I started looking forward to those hours in the morning when I would have less pain and I would, be able to paint. So, and I am really grateful to you, ma'am, for that motivation and that encouragement that you gave me at that time. I think it also helps me. This is the second time that I had this issue with endometriosis, and it helps me. First time it got it into art. Second time it reminded me that, what it takes, and taught me what it takes to become successful in whatever we are doing. It really needs us to put in our best and overcome all the difficulties, because the difficult times and the difficulties make us what we are, or what we become. So,
That is such an inspirational story, isn't it? And if you would not have painted that time, you could not have exhibited your painting now. What do you think about it? Now you're exhibiting it in a wonderful exhibition, right?
yes, ma'am. In fact, if you remember this painting, when we were starting the painting, I didn't know how exactly it would turn out. So I didn't have a fixed image in the mind. So it was because of the difficulties that came that and how we could overcome it. I thought of keeping it as a limited palette painting, and I have, kept it in a combination of cool and warm to represent the cool times and the, so to say, warm times in either ways. The painting, whatever it has turned out to be, it is because of what I have gone through during that painting.
Great. So the circumstances helped you to create a masterpiece. I'm very sure that by now all the viewers are thinking that what exactly that painting is. I want to see that, isn't it? Madhuvanti, is it okay for you to share that painting with other people, like on your screen?
Yeah, I'm sure, why not? So
Yeah,
this is the painting. It is actually, the photo is not doing a lot of justice to
justice. I
the painting. It is something that looks different under different lights.
understand. It has
And
got golden foil and all that, right? It is a
yes, ma'am.
masterpiece. How big is it?
So this, after framing, it is 4.5 feet by 3.8 feet.
Wow, that is quite huge. Great.
Yeah, ma'am.
So,
And I'll show you the other one where this is the one with me. This is when I was painting.
wow, this is fabulous painting. So,
Thank you,
do
ma'am.
you think, Madhuvanti, that you could have done this without mastering watercolor realism course?
Uh, no, ma'am. First of all, I wouldn't even have started it. And even if I would have started it, I would have probably paused. I mean, it was only for your support and motivation that you gave me that I kept going through all the difficult times. I wouldn't have painted this without mastering watercolor realism.
Yes, and for everyone, if you're getting scared that, oh my God, Meeta pushes so much, even in pain, even in like fracturing the hand. So it is like this. This course is meant only for those people who want to become professional. I have this mindset that let's have a zero excuse policy. A difficult time can help you become more stronger or can help you become more weaker. Depends upon your choice. So I push my students in difficult times because after the difficulty gets over, they will realize that what they have done during the difficulty. And I want them to feel proud of whatever they did during the difficult times. So that is it. Don't get worried. I don't push everyone. I push only those people who want me to push them. Okay, so it was all about you. Like I always tell my students, Madhuvanti, that it is about you, not about me.
Yes, so all this while I thought I didn't know that, what happens to me when I am put in a boiling water. And yeah, so mastering watercolor realism actually helped me discover myself all over again. And,
Great. That is a
uh,
wonderful testimonial. It helped you to discover yourself. Great.
yes, ma'am, my strengths and my capabilities. You really helped me think a lot and helped me think through situations, helped take decisions as well. One thing that I like in the course is that you don't spoon feed anybody or anything. So you encourage people to think through situations and take their own decisions, be it in a painting or even otherwise, right? For example, you motivated me a lot to keep going. It's up, as you said, it's up to the individual to take that call whether they want to really take it that way or not.
Right.
And that is wonderful, ma'am.
So, what are the three things, what are the three features that you liked about this course that you would like to share, which can help even advanced artists to look forward towards joining this course?
There are a lot of courses that are there in the market. The one thing that differentiates this course and others is, even though it is a very systematically designed course, it allows freedom for artists at different levels of skill set to exercise their own skill level and creativity. And second is, there is no spoon feeding, even though you have predefined modules and all, but every assignment has a freedom. Like, you will say that, okay, you need to draw straight lines, right? But you don't tell them that, okay, you draw this, you know straight lines in a particular way. Or I'm just giving an example. So everybody is free work the exercises out in their own way. So, a third, maybe I can keep going on,
Yeah.
but during the projects, you really encouraged us and all the participants to experiment a lot. And that is very, very important for becoming an artist or a professional artist or any artist, right? Everything cannot be taught. I believe mastering watercolor realism does that. It doesn't teach you only watercolors, it teaches you how to learn watercolors on your own, even after, or rather, how you can keep learning watercolors and keep sharpening your skills even after the course is long over.
Right.
So you actually learn to learn things,
Right.
and that
I
is wonderful.
I totally agree with you, Madhuvanti. I learned it that learning is incomplete without research and experimentation.
Yes,
It is incomplete. Another thing is that every artist is a unique artist. And if I
yes.
tell you every single thing, I will make a replica of myself. And that is
Mm.
not needed, that is not required in this world. And this is a murder of an artist if I do that.
One more thing I just want to add. I know you said three things, but I can't stop at three. I just want to add one more, and that is about the immense emphasis that you give on positive mindset. So, in my case, I mean, I always thought I'm very positive and all that, but our mindset is really tested when we go through difficult times. And when you don't actually see light at the end of the tunnel, that is when you realize that, okay, can I still hang on to my positive thoughts? But yes, through this I learned to be really positive in the outlook. It doesn't mean that we have to overlook the negative sides. There
Mhm.
are difficulties and we accept it with a positive mindset. That is what positive mindset is. And it actually helped me become a much stronger and a much more confident and resilient person as a human being after the course.
That is so good.
It's
It is going to last forever, I think. And do you remember I told you that this painting, if you complete, it will become your trophy. And if
yeah,
you don't complete, it will become a proof of your weakness.
yeah,
So now it has
yes,
become
ma'am.
your trophy. How are you feeling about it? The entire journey of mastering watercolor realism.
The feeling is very great, ma'am. It's awesome. It has been an awesome journey, and I feel like a much more seasoned professional. On the professional side, I feel much more ready for the market. As an individual, I feel much more stronger and capable and ready to take on challenges and difficulties. Um,
That is wonderful. So, Madhuvanti, if you had to share one single golden nugget, the most important win of like win from this course, what would be that one single thing?
the biggest win from this course for me was not giving excuses, was learning not to take difficulties as an excuse for not doing some things.
A wonderful one. That is a very powerful one, right?
This is something that I have seen now, right? I mean, I would have ideally stopped or paused my painting. Not pausing it gives us greater strength and the sense of achievement that we get out of doing things in difficult situations is much more than doing the same thing without a difficulty. Uh,
That is so good. That is so good. So you have seen Madhuvanti's painting and you have seen her journey, how she managed to continue with her painting, even though she faced a lot of difficult situation. And I'm very sure that you must have found her story inspirational. So Madhuvanti, before we stop this interview, would you like to share anything with the person who is watching this video?
yes, ma'am. There are many things that I would like to share, but the most important thing is there are many a times that we keep thinking about doing something and keep hesitating about whether it'll work or whether it won't work.
Mhm.
Um, and particularly when it comes to learning and upskilling, we often, you know, think that we'll be able to do it independently and things like that. I would like to encourage everyone who's, still in the thinking mode to take the big plunge because there is nothing as important as time, and having a mentor as nice and great as you really helps an artist or helps an aspiring artist speed up the process of learning and becoming a qualified artist by a significant number of years. So yeah, I would really encourage people to give themselves that opportunity to grow and take up the course.
Thank you so much, Madhuvanti, for suggesting this to the viewers. I highly encourage you to get connected with me and check out Mastering Watercolor Realism. What are the features that it offers? And if you think that you can paint all by yourself, that is good, that is really good, and there is no end to learning. If you are an advanced artist, the one thing that this course can give you is that it can take you to an entirely different level. Madhuvanti also knew how to paint with watercolors. She did some portraits, even portraits she did before joining Mastering Watercolor Realism. But what she did while and after Mastering Watercolor Realism, it is tremendously different. She has got a totally different identity, and she has accepted the fact that if difficult situation arises and if we continue to grow during the difficult situation, we become an entirely different and more stronger person. So this course will take you to an entirely different level, and I hope to see you in my batch, Mastering Watercolor Realism. Thank you so much, Madhuvanti, and thank you so